All right, hi guys. I look fright today. My hair is like everywhere, isn't it? But welcome to my channel. Where's my... I'm like hiding a box. Hang on. So I have a box here. My name is Taz. If you're new, if you're not, welcome back. If you're new, welcome here. Welcome for the first time. It's a really weird intro. I don't know, whatever. That was. We'll just move past that. There's like people outside looking at my neighbor's yard. I'm wondering why. And he's staring into my window. He's a Bronco, like a really nice car, but why are you... I'm taking the sticker off. I'm not just staring out the window for the fun of it. I'm actually doing something here. Like, oh, Connor, don't look at me. I should not look at him. He's probably like, why is she sitting in the building? I know he can see me and hear me. My window's open. Awkward. All right, anyway, so I got a package now. This is funny. This is the same importer that I got my red spider from. I'm trying to focus on there, so bear with me. So I'm excited. Now he's probably gonna watch. He's gonna watch this for sure. He cracks me up. Like, I'm so busy, so like I never check my phone, and I feel like he's always on his phone. And I was like, you know, these are gonna be in the box for like 9 days. Are we sure they're gonna be okay? Like, what are we thinking? Like, this is the first time I'm getting an alocasia. Like, I have a feeling that it's gonna be damaged. Just because it's an alocasia and it's traveling in a hot box or a cold box. I don't know what states it's traveling through or countries it's traveling through. I don't know if I think it landed somewhere before me and then they shipped it off, like the person. They did last time, so. But I don't know. And I only paid for it half, so even like half of the order I only paid so far. He's really nice about letting you do that. Which is helpful if I want to get bigger orders. You know, I don't have to do it right away. That's, again, not every buyer, and it's definitely not an expectation you should have for importers. He's just very nice to me, and I appreciate that. So even if they're damaged, I'm still expected by myself personally and by the seller to pay it the full amount that's remaining, even though there's damage. That's just being a good human being, guys. Like, don't... I know there's people out there that wouldn't, you know, and that's what... Whatever. There's just people out there that are like that, aren't they? But my plants I got from him last time are perfect. They are still doing great. There was one that melted, but I've imported... Well, it's still alive, though, but it did take more damage. I have imported, like, hundreds and hundreds of Anthurium. So... I know very well that some will do great and some will not do great. Some will do really poorly. It's just how it goes. Ooh. Ooh. This is my Anthurium clarinervium variegated. So I'm very excited to finally have a variegated Anthurium. So excited. Sorry. I'll calm down. I'm also off my Adderall, so like Godspeed. Godspeed. May the Lord be with me in this time of need. This time of transition into oneself. So you'll see a complete personality shift. I'm just telling you now, I'm warning all my planty friends here. My family says it's the better, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. But I don't know if you can see her. Let's move it closer. Look at this beautiful coloring. So my plan with these, if you've watched my channel before, you know I like to put them in water either first, or since it's in a really nice moss ball here, and we'll open up the end. I won't do that in the beginning in case you want to skip that part. I will take this whole root ball and put it in a cup and then pour a little bit of water. See how much of it gets soaked up. If I need to add more, I'll add a little bit more, and then I'll keep it in that little root ball. And usually I'll put some Super Thrive in there and that's like it. Or a microbial, it's this gross like poop stuff. I'll have to just show you. I hate the way it smells. I think it's called Bushwhacker. I want to say it's Bushwhacker. I don't know. But anyways, she's beautiful. Look at this back leaf. So I'm new to Variegated Anthurium. I know it's difficult to keep the variegation. I also know that it can be really inconsistent, and I also know that genetically breeding them with variegated plants, breeding them doesn't always necessarily mean they're going to come up variegated, which my question is, if I breed her, you know, put the yum yum on her yum yum, does she make variegated babies, or would her pollen carry the yum yum, the pollen carry the genetic sequence for variegation, the anomaly, into the next plant? I would feel like it would be, if anything, the berries that come off the plant that's variegated specifically. Any Anthurium people in there in the chat, like if you know that answer, let me know, because I'd be interested to know. I'm learning about pollinating. I have my Pallidiflorum, which is, yeah, it's a common plant, I know, but she has her yum yum, and I'm put it on somebody else's yum yum, and we're gonna see if we make berries. Yum yum. Sorry. Okay, anyways, moving on. So these are packaged a lot better than last time. Well done. I like it. I like it. I like it. Much better for protecting these and having them arrive safe. Big fan. And I don't know if this is the actual shop or if the mediator, the mediator connection did it. That's not how you say that, but you know what I mean. Now this I do see everywhere. Oh, its new leaf is growing. I do see these everywhere, and you can get them for quite an affordable price. I really liked this variegation, and I was like, I want it, so I got it anyway. It's a variegated pterodactyl. I love pterodactyls, okay? So much. I have my plain one over there that's mixed with a clarinervium. She is beautiful. Look at that. Holy sugar. Look at that variegation. Now, when I unwrap it, we'll look and see which is the latest leaf. Obviously, the baby that is coming up here. Pterodactyls are pretty strong plants. They're kind of similar to clarinervium, in my opinion, for like the structure of the leaf, like the strength of the leaves, the feels of the leaves. Even though this one doesn't look fluffy or velvety. But here's the new baby. We probably wouldn't see any variegation on it until it actually like comes up. But I'm hopeful that this is the latest leaf, because that means that the genetic trait is pretty strong. But knowing my luck, it won't be, you know? So that's a variegated pterodactyl. He even put my name on them. He's awesome, you guys. So even if there is a damaged plant, if you look, he have my name on it. If you are getting an import and you're getting upset and getting mad at the importer because one of the plants is slightly damaged, or you know, whatever, like, you just kind of gotta expect that there will be some damage when you import. I've never had from any importer something that has arrived with 100% success with all of the plants that are in there. It's not really realistic to think that way or to believe it's going to happen that way. Like, they're traveling so far. First of all, they're being shaken around. They're going on airplanes. Then they're going on hot trucks. Not only that, but they're dipped before they leave. They have to, you know, they legally have to. They have to ship bare rooted. There's all these standards and limitations for it. It's not as simple as we think. So considering all of those variables, they arrive in pretty good condition. So, and he also gave me a gift. So he's lovely. And even in my last video, I said, you know, if you want to go and ask, you know, like what they have, if they have stuff available, if you like to import, if you're good at it, meaning like you know how to handle them when they arrive, like definitely go check them out. Definitely go say hi. Tell them I sent you. because that would be a bomb for me. And I'm the princess here. Just kidding. Well, kind of. All right, let's see this one. So this one is just says, oh, sorry, that's my bad. Alocasia something. I don't know why this Bronco is still sitting outside my house. Whatever. I don't know if he's like looking for somebody or he like keeps turning in a circle, parking, turning in a circle, parking, turning circle, parking. Luckily my neighbors don't watch my YouTube video because it would be awkward. All right. See, like this is a little crispy, and this is what I was worried about with the alocasia. Like I fully expected this to happen, not gonna lie. So I can still potentially save this chunk because the stem is really nice. So I'm gonna keep it in this moss and hope, but because of it being in for 9 days, I literally knew this was gonna happen. So because it's been in here for so long, it's just dried up. Now, fortunately, Anthurium, they do really well with that drying up. I did know this was gonna happen. I knew better, but it's okay. The seller is good. You know, I know they mean well, and it's not really their fault. It's just the way they are. The way they have to dip them. They don't like it. They don't. But let's investigate this one since it is in such poor condition, and I did call it from the beginning. But that doesn't again mean that the seller is bad. You can tell the difference between the Anthurium, which arrived absolutely perfect, and then the Alocasia. Alocasia are, for lack of a better term, they're just divas. They're Karens, they're bitches. I can't stand them. So we're just gonna peek because I'm curious to see the stem health. If our stem is healthy, we can bring this back. So I will probably keep it in the moss. Yeah, that stem is perfect. It's hard, it's not squishy. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just gonna break it up a little bit, soften up the moss. I'm gonna keep it in here. I'm gonna cut off some of these dead leaves. I might even leave them on just to not stress it out anymore. And I'm gonna give it a little bit of water, put it in my cabinet, and literally let it just have a day because it will be fine. And I will also lift it out of here a little bit so that the stem is above the moss. Again, fully expected this to happen with the alocasia. And you'll see when I pull out these other ones, they're probably gonna be fine. So you can see it just got severe, like it crisped up completely. And that's just, I hate the way they have to ship them, not the seller, the standards and rules. They just don't understand how damaging it can be. It drives me nuts. But this was a Scabroluska. And again, I have full faith that I will be able to bring this back to a leaf. So we're gonna just work on it. Let me get this moss out of here. This piece and this piece. Even if it has 0 roots, it can still come back for us here. So yeah, I will leave that for a minute. And then I will do maintenance on it when I get back into my plant room. So let's open up the other ones because I'm going to show you that even though that one is bad, there is a reason for it. Where's my cutter? Oh, did I put it in the box? I did. So that makes me sad, but I knew, you know, and Indonesia is a little bit further, so it just, and their specialty for the most part isn't alocasia. They are, actually I lied, that was a lie. They have a lot of really cool indigenous alocasia. I think the Jacqueline came from there, the Sulawesi came from there. There's a bunch actually that originated in Indonesia in general. So I don't know why I said that, but I'm not making sense, am I? But this one is Dorak. What is it? Let me read this. He's so cute. This is a Dorayala with a luxurian. Oh, she's so cute. Oh, even this little new leaf is okay. Look. Look how cute she is. Look at that. Oh, he's so cute. So pretty. You are stunning. Very pretty. Very happy with that one. Very cute. See, it's just... And people will jump to conclusions so quickly and assume like the shop is terrible. It's like, no. You're just going to assume that because of damaged plants. Plants are freaking living organisms. Like, what do you expect them to do when they travel? Like, it's going to happen. Even when my plants arrive sometimes damaged or like the box is damaged. And you can tell like sometimes customers like edging towards like them wanting you to replace it. But it's like, that's not my fault. And when I say replace it, like they're not dead. They're just like they lost one leaf. And it's like, no, what? Like they're shipping. What do you expect? And I wrap mine very carefully. So, ooh, this is the Delta Cross, I believe. So this is a Clarinervium crossed with a Delta Force. I wanted this so bad. Now these leaves are really hard, so I know this plant is going to recover perfectly for me. Look at that. Look at the beauty. Oh my gosh. Look at how healthy even this baby leaf is. Look at that. And look at this baby. So if you're an Anthurium lover, go hit up this guy and ask him what he has. So this is, I wanted a Delta Force, but they're too expensive. So this was the next best thing that they had. They have a couple crosses with the Delta, but I wanted a Delta, and I wanted it to look like the Delta. I don't know if you can see. See what I mean? What's my cat doing? So, it's beautiful. They're so pretty. I hate that they have to dip them before shipping. But it's so hard. So I know it's going to do great. So pretty. All right, let's look at these variegated babies and the roots. I'm good. Like I said, I'm going to just put it in a root ball. Leave it in its root ball. The way they packaged it this time is 10 out of 10. Would come back. I'm sad about the alocasia, but not too sad. It's not completely unexpected, like I said a million times. Still sad though, because I was excited. But it is what it is. I will tag the shop underneath in the description and probably on the screen here as we're watching. So, but let's take a look. I should have just left it in here, but I'll put it in my own pot and probably my own moss. Just because I'm kind of fussy. I might not even put it in moss. These usually do fine right away being potted up. So probably sit them in water like I always do. A little bit of Super Thrive in there and see how they recover. You can tell. So if your Anthurium arrives and the chonk is soft, I wouldn't put it in water. I would put it in moss that, I don't know if you can tell the moisture level of this moss, but it's not wet. It's slightly damp. That's the substrate I would put it in, or like the amount of moisture level I would put it in for a day. Let it recover. And if it's really bad, I would set it in water with half of it out of the water so it gets oxygen and see if it will reroot. This one has a new root. This was a cut one. The roots are perfect, in my opinion. So you can see this was cut. And then they rooted it. So I'll put this straight, and it's not rot here. It's not even a little bit soft. It might be a tiny bit, but not really. This is all new and healthy. Hello? So yeah, she's beautiful. I'm very happy with this plant. I'll definitely get more variegated anthurium from him. He was showing me beautiful ones yesterday. I'm like, I am poor right now. I don't have monies. Stop showing me pretty plants because I want them all, but I can't afford them. God, that's pretty though. I love it so much. Look, let's see if we can get like a cover photo quick of them. Hide my face. I'm fugly today. Did not put a lot of effort into my well-being today. But while we're sitting here, I don't know if you guys have seen the drama on Christina's garden. I was asked by so many people why I promoted her on my YouTube video when I had her plants. I purchased her plants. First of all, I purchased her plants way before this drama, but that's irrelevant. I base my own opinions and my own judgments and criticisms off of my own experience with somebody. I don't really just blindly follow what other people say or what other people complain about. I did see the back and forth communication. While I don't know really what happened before all of this with the other plants that were requested to be refunded. If anybody knows the story, then you're on top of it. If not, you can go on Facebook, popular pages, and it's all there. Somebody blasted her on Facebook. I didn't really care for that. And I mean this with respect to both the buyer and the seller, because I'm not choosing a side. But I don't care for anyone being blasted on the internet. In my opinion, I find that to be bullying. The buyer has been nothing but good with me and my mother. We haven't had any issues, so we're not going to form an opinion on the shop based off of somebody else's poor experience. Some people have bad days and they take it out on others, and she's a working mom. She's busy. She also has the language barrier, which can create kind of an issue or a miscommunication, if you will. There's a lot of variables there. And, you know, it seemed like the buyer was requesting a replacement for a plant that wasn't prior discussed needing one for that plant in the beginning. It was just like, hey, this plant arrived and didn't arrive very good. And then that was kind of like the end of that, I guess. So there was really no discussion on this, the potential of a refund for it. So then coming back, you know, 2 weeks to a month later, asking for a refund with your new order, I think that's a little bit, I don't know, insensitive to the buyer. You should have like reached out earlier. But also the way she responded to the buyer was, you know, just too much. I don't think we need to swear at customers or, you know, be rude, but sometimes we just get so aggravated that we let our emotions really drive how we respond to criticism and I deal with stressful customers all the time. Not all the time, I shouldn't say all the time, but I would say maybe every couple months, maybe once every, I would say like maybe 2 times a year, I have a really stressful encounter. It's not a lot, but when it happens, it's very hard to not want to be a bitch, to be completely plain and clear. Like, it's hard to not call somebody out and be like, you're being an asshole. You need to rein it in because, like, I don't care for it. Like, you can't, as a seller, do that because you're a seller. You have to treat people with, you know, grace and dignity because you don't know if you're going to be blasted all over the internet for how you behave. So you should behave with, you know, demurely, if you will. So I don't know. I think it could have diffused the situation very fast if the response hadn't been so aggressive. And it did kind of seem a little bit delayed on the buyer understanding the seller understanding that the buyer wasn't seeing, you know, the refund coming through. I could see how that would be nerve-wracking if you think like, oh, the seller isn't going to refund you. You know, are they stealing your money? And Christina This garden isn't like that. She doesn't need to be stealing $200 from anybody. She makes a lot of money on selling those big plants and those expensive plants. I mean, she lives good. So anyone assuming that she's trying to scam is that's just unrealistic, and it doesn't really make logical sense. She's not scamming anyone. She doesn't need to scam anyone. And I'm pretty sure this would have come up to light a long time ago if she was a scammer. Just my thoughts. Could she be less rude maybe? And I say rude because that's the word that was thrown around a lot. Yeah, of course she could have been less rude. Does that change my opinion on her? No. No. I'm still gonna buy from her if I want to. If I see something I want, I'm still gonna buy from her. The plants arrived fine. You saw me unbox them. They were fine. They were perfect. They were beautiful. So she's been nothing but good to me. So I'm not gonna ostracize her for somebody else's bad experience. You know, that's herd mentality. And that's just, in my opinion, kind of being a bully. And remember, even if you don't agree with me, totally fine. You don't have to agree with me. Yeah, I don't have to agree with you. That's what makes us individuals, and that's what makes us unique. And we're allowed to have our own opinions and share them without criticism. And we can have an agree to disagree sort of a situation. You know, we can agree to disagree with one another. All the time, like on Instagram, I love to comment on controversial things and just like throw in my 2 cents sometimes. And I will get people that will counter me. And we'll have like a battle on our Instagram chats. And a lot of the time we'll end up being friends at the end of it. I'll be like, they will say to me, you know, I really enjoyed this. This was really good. You actually listened to me. You took what I said and you weren't, you know, a douche about it. And you understood the perspective, and you weren't, you know, I didn't undervalue their opinion, if you will. Everyone's opinion matters because like we feel things we feel for a reason. You know, it's not unfound. It's just, it might not align with your opinion. So yeah, the moral, if you want to have a takeaway from this whole experience while I'm unpacking these, is don't just blindly follow the hundreds and hundreds of negative comments from people attacking her on Facebook. I think that's really in poor taste. And if you're one of the people that, you know, commented on their disgusting, mean things, like shame on you. Shame on you. It's really mean. I don't think anyone should be bullied for anything. If they're a poor seller, sure, you know, we still don't need to bully them online. You know, we can say our piece, but we should shut down bullying, because it just opens the gateway for others to bully others and to make it seem like it's an okay thing to do in general, and it's not. The internet should not be this toxic space. And we're plant people, guys. Like, why are we being so toxic? Facebook is toxic as shit. I don't sell on Facebook because I don't trust anybody on there. Everybody is so mean. And I know this. I'm an admin on a pretty big freaking plant page. I just go by my other name. And the amount of time I have to treat people like toddlers and rein them in and block people and kick people out, it's insane. It's insane. I don't know if you know Jared. I don't know his last name, but I'm moderator on one of his pages, and they're just, people are absolute cows on there sometimes. And you have to be like, look, if you're going to act like a child, I'm just going to kick you out. I'm not even going to give it a second thought. I'm just going to kick you out, because there's no space for that. We're here to enjoy selling our plants. We're here to enjoy buying plants. We're not here to nitpick and price shame and bully, and that's all Facebook is right now. It's just a place for people to vent their frustrations onto other people, and I don't care for it. I don't care for it. And if you disagree, that's totally fine. I respect your opinion. I really do. I do. I won't fight you on it. You're allowed to feel, and you're allowed to feel what you think without me telling you what you should feel. But I can definitely tell you how I feel about something. I think this is 2 plants. So, because like here is a new leaf. But I honestly think this is an offshoot. It is. See here? So this could be sliced down. This is 2 plants here. It might even be 3 plants. No, this is a leaf that came off of this, and then this is another one, the second one, and then this is going to be a new one in here. There's one in here, because we shouldn't have that if we have a new leaf right here. So I think that's 2. Actually, I know that's 2. Yeah, it's coming off different parts of the chunk. Same with this. Like, it does look like it, but that's an open spot, not for a leaf, but for one that's already come up through another. I don't know. But yeah, that was a pretty deep ending, but I just wanted to say that because it's been on my mind all day. I think because I just get triggered by the whole attacking one another thing. I just don't care for it. Like, why? Why are we doing that? Let's check out this. Ooh, okay, so this Scabroluska, the corm here is really hard. So yes, everything is damaged. The roots are all dead. There's one really good root though, actually. We're gonna treat that one like a princess because that might be the only thing that encourages this to grow back faster. We're gonna remove the bad ones. Alocasia don't like to be dirty. I don't care, but like they also will rot really fast if they're not tidy, so. We'll clean her up. I'm going to leave this ugly leaf attached, and I'm going to bury it where there's, so that you have the chonk lines. There's a ton of chonk lines here. I'm going to leave just a bit under here so we have one breathable node spot so it doesn't all rot. This is very hard. All of this is hard. So that's good. Even though there's no roots, this potentially could be fine. So I'm going to put it in a mix of stratum and stratum and perlite. Minimal water for the first couple of days. I'm going to just spray water it from the top, not fill the bottom. And I will do an update on how this goes. Because, yeah, it looks rough, and that's okay. That's just sometimes how it goes. So take that, like I said, with a grain of salt and go from there. But that was fun. I mean, it's going to be beautiful, look, when it's not a crispy Cheeto. So it's going to be beautiful. I have faith that I can bring it back. So might as well try, right? But anyways, that concludes this. The roots all look fabulous, as I knew they would. I have liked this experience with this shop a lot. I don't know if I'll get Alocasia again. I just don't think they're gonna ever too good. The ones I got from Thailand, which I will post soon, I had to wait for a replacement. Yes, I did ask for a replacement on something. You'll see why. But what was I saying? The shop was good. So they have a lot of variety. They have really cool hybrids if that's what you're into. Just go ask and let them know that I sent you if you go over there. And if you watch the end, let me know what you think about the whole situation. I'm curious to see what people's opinions are, if you've seen it, if you haven't. I don't really have a link or anything to it. You're just going to have to ask around or go look around Facebook. But like I said, I understand being upset with a seller. I totally do. I just think we could have handled it a little bit better. And it's getting dark because my camera's overheating. So I'm going to go, but it was lovely to be back video. It's been a week because I had Easter and family and horses in my back and all of the things. So I'll see you guys later. Okay, bye.